Matthew Whitaker, former acting attorney general during the Trump administration, is in focus now. Let's begin with how this was carried out. I'm reading that there are questions about procedure, carrying some of those boxes out. And I do want to get into the nitty-gritty of this. Were they supposed to go through evidence on site? I want to know.
Yeah, Harris, good to be with you today. You know, one of the things that is a question is why send 30 FBI agents to carry out 30 boxes, and how extensive did they actually search for the information they wanted, or did they just go grab anything that wasn't attached to the walls? And that's, you know, in this case, obviously, if they had particular things they were looking for, a subpoena could have easily accomplished the exact same, retention and grabbing of the documents that a search warrant could. So this is, like you said, unprecedented and really shocking.
So real quickly, when things are done wrong in this sense, what is the blowback against the FBI or the DOJ? And we don't know if things were broken here, if you will, in terms of rules and laws. But there are just so many questions, and we're not hearing from anybody yet. So we've seen the FBI do things, and they don't get their comeuppance.
Well, obviously, Congress has an important oversight and also an important funding position with the FBI. But, you know, the Inspector General at the DOJ has held the FBI accountable, and especially individuals like Andy McCabe, and pointed out their poor decision making. But, you know, this really goes to the top, at least to Merrick Garland, as to why he would be targeting the former president of the United States with these really draconian tactics. You know, executing a search warrant, to Jonathan Turley's point, as it relates to the Presidential Records Act, seems an extreme step, as other people have been treated. For example, Hillary Clinton, who alleged to have violated the same act with her private email server, was
30,000.
not punished at all, and certainly no search warrants were executed.
Yeah, I mean, 30,000. And we've seen the Clinton couple walk out of the White House with $28,000 worth of furniture and belongings that they had to return to the White House. And we won't even get into how those things were gathered and so on and so forth. Real quick question again before we move on. What does it mean when you hear that boxes have been turned over in this whole process by the former president? I mean, if he were cooperating with the FBI, with the DOJ, why would this be necessary?
I don't understand, because, Harris, if you remember, on January 20th, we turn over the government. The previous president packs up his things, moves to wherever he's going to live. And there's got to be an accommodation process. I know with the Clintons, I know with the Bushes, and I'm certain with President Obama, there was a discussion with the National Archives as to what they had and what should be turned over as a presidential record. And I think this process should have played out here, but instead they got the FBI involved to raid his home.
The FBI raid of Trump's Mar-a-Lago, again, that's his primary residence right now, has some critics crying hypocrisy when it comes to Hunter Biden. So you mentioned the Clintons. I'm going to mention what's current. The critics are saying that the Justice Department is not doing nearly enough when it comes to investigating the president's son. Former AG Bill Barr now calling for a special counsel status after whistleblowers' revelations on how FBI agents handled damning information about Hunter. Watch.
It's time for Merrick Garland to give the current U.S. attorney in Delaware the protections of the special and the authority of a special counsel under the department's regulations. We have whistleblowers coming forward that raise questions about some of the FBI's role in that case, to provide additional assurance and to deal with the appearance of a potential conflict between the administration and the investigation of the president's son. That his time has come to do that.
Your response to that?
Yeah, Bill Barr's absolutely right, and I've been calling for a special counsel in the Hunter Biden case for a long time. In this case, again, you have the FBI taking a different route. For over 3 years, they've had the laptop since 2019. They haven't done much with it that we can tell, and I'm worried that if Merrick Garland's putting his thumb on these types of investigations, whether it's promoting this one against President Trump or delaying, slowing down the one against Hunter Biden, he has an obvious conflict, as this is the son of his boss.
As you look at your former place of employ, the Department of Justice, and side by side the FBI, Do you think people have reason not to trust those agencies?
I think a lot of Americans believe there's a two-tiered system of justice where allies of President Trump, are handcuffed and taken off of planes for misdemeanor crimes, and at the same time, the people on the left are treated entirely different. And so, again, perception's becoming reality. The Department of Justice is in a crisis right now, and we need more answers to these questions, not silence like we're seeing today.
I wonder if they know they're in a crisis, and when we're going to hear from them. Matt Whitaker, thank you very much for starting us off in focus.
Great to see you, Harris.
You too.
Thank you.